Hello guys, how are you guys? I have a quick message here and to Greater Sapien. Please, if you happen to watch this video, I need you to send a link or send as a attachment on a message to him. I'm making this video for him. I watched his apology on his channel to his supporters. And I want to comment on that, some of the things he brought up. So please, if you are watching this, share with him, send it as a message or post on his Facebook, this message to him. So let's watch his response here in my channel, and I will comment on that.
Hey everybody. Some of you may be aware from my live stream the other day or from other locations online that the overthepolls2018.com website has been down for a while and that I was looking into it. Well, yesterday I heard back from one of my contacts, aviation blogger Sam Chewy, and it appears the flight is off with a strong suspicion of fraud on the part of the organizer. From my email exchange with Sam Chewy. Aviation writer Brian Baum wrote on a Facebook comment, I have not heard back from another contact, Manuel Calise, but he wrote on that same Facebook thread. So what's going to be done going forward? I'm not exactly sure yet. The money went to where I said it would. A ticket was purchased. Shirts are going to print this week. I pre-ordered a P1000 camera.
Okay, hold right there. First thing you have to do, Greater Sapien, cancel this order immediately. Cancel, call them up, or send them an email. Say, please don't send me. I don't have the money anymore. I've been scammed. So cancel this order immediately.
But I have the contact information for the people that generously supported this project, and I will consult with them. And if I can come up with a mechanism for returning the funds to them, we'll work that out. But any of those funds will be out of my own pocket until I can manage to get the funds back from the organizer, which I assume will be never until I learn otherwise.
Another thing that you can learn from this experience that you have gone through is that number one, you pay attention that during your apology, I have attached your video next to a spinning globe with an airliner flying around it, like if it was possible. So first thing you must learn is that this is not possible. This flight was canceled because it's not possible to fly over the South Pole. Either the organizers didn't know that, started organizing, and then they, when faced to the reality that this could not be done, they took the money and ran away. Or from the beginning they knew, but they know the globe believers would believe anything, and they just went ahead and set up this flight, and guys like you fell for it because you believe that spinning ball in space with eyeliners flying around it. So this is one thing that you should learn from this. So let's go on.
So I want to apologize to all my supporters for this high-profile disappointment. It takes an arrow out of our quiver. That would have been a powerful blow to the ignorance of the Flat Earth fantasy.
Okay, now again, you start attacking Flat Earth by saying fantasy. Look, I want you to look as you watch this video of yourself speaking and this globe, by your side spinning with airliner going around it, and this thing is shooting through space 500,000 miles per hour, and that's a fantasy, and that's what you should realize. Flat Earth is not fantasy. Flat Earth is reality. Okay, the Earth is flat, there's no curvature, but you have this fantasy that you're shooting through space at 500,000 miles per hour. This is a fantasy. Let's move on.
But we still have all the weapons on our side.
So your weapons is NASA CGI's images, Photoshop images. The other weapon that you have is called a fisheye lens. This is a powerful weapon because it can round things up. Even here where I live, I can make it the curvature with using that. So those are the weapons that you have. Fisheye lens, as NASA's CGI department, and all their artistry.
But let's be honest, the anti-science crowd are happy today.
Again, I don't understand why you say the anti-science crowd is happy today, because there is an impossibility of this flight to have taken place. This is a fact, man. You have to realize that whether we believe in science or not, you must understand this flight cannot happen. People have been telling you, as far back as 4 months ago, some flat earthers have been putting videos telling this was a scam. This could not have happened because nobody can fly over the poles. But you went ahead, you requested money on your YouTube channel, and you went ahead and you did what you did, and now you got what you got. So you bear some responsibility too. You should have paid attention what we are been telling you forever. The Earth is flat. It cannot be circumnavigated from pole to pole as you believe it can.
So let them have their celebrations over this failure. Let them name call all they wish. I can take it. They don't have much to celebrate. They don't have the...
Okay, again, the guy who believes in a spinning ball, just like the image next to him, saying that we don't have the facts. Now, greatest Sapien, you don't have the facts, you have fantasy. And I'll prove you this. Disney released a movie back in 1955. Disney released a movie like Fantasia, Fantasyland, and The Magic Kingdom. So maybe if you watch this trailer of this 1955 movie, you will see if what you guys believe is really fact or fantasy.
Walt Disney's Disneyland. Each week as you enter this timeless land, one of these many worlds will open to you. Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all. Presenting this week, here to introduce you to this new series is Walt Disney.
Or the science.
I was going to say thank you very much. I mean, that's, as a science journalist, my question is, through your career and your writing and your acting, you've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction? They're both the same.
So let them have this.
All right, so instead of facts and science, you have fantasy, as Disney was presenting, and science fiction, because what you guys believe is science fiction. So what's next for you now, Greater Sapien? Are you going to sign up for the Mars trip too? Are you going to start requesting money to fly to Mars? I think it's scheduled a flight to Mars for 2019 or 2020. Is it what you're gonna do next? When I posted on your YouTube channel, I got some messages from your supporters, and they were flooding me with links telling me that this flight already took place in 1977, a flight from pole to pole. That was Pan Am Flight 50. Carrie B had mentioned about it 4 months ago, about that flight. So I looked closely to that flight. There was a Pan Am Flight 50, and let's see what they did. We're gonna compare according to their commercial and the flight path here on the Gleason's map.
The jet age. The world shrinks dramatically. In May 1976, a new Pan Am 747 SP, the Clipper Liberty Bell, with 98 passengers aboard, shatters all previous records by flying around the world in just 46 hours. The Liberty Bell flight, like almost all those that preceded it, followed a route that roughly paralleled the equator. Only a very few planes had ever tried to go around the other way, following a north-south route over the poles. And never had a plane carrying passengers attempted it. until the weekend of October 28, 1977. Pan Am decides to celebrate its 50th anniversary by taking 172 passengers on a spectacular one-time only flight from San Francisco over the North Pole to London.
Here's Pan Am Flight 50, supposed to have happened in 1977. The first leg, San Francisco to London, represented by the pink line.
From there to Cape Town, South Africa.
Second stop, from London to South Africa. I wrote down Johannesburg here, went straight to South Africa, represented with this blue line.
Then over the South Pole to Auckland, New Zealand.
South Africa to Auckland, New Zealand, represented by this green line right here.
And on back to San Francisco.
From Auckland, New Zealand, back to San Francisco, represented with this orange line right here. Okay, so they don't need to fly over the poles for this flight. Just look at the Gleason's map. This is how they did it.
Around the world over both the poles, all between Friday afternoon and Sunday evening. This will be a weekend to remember.
Remember, guys, you can research this now. Pan Am was actually taking reservations for moon trips back in the 60s, and they had a long list. People, even had their cards. They were like making reservations to flights to the moon back in 1960s. All right, so I mean, probably great Sapiens grandparents or father or grandfather was on that list too. Okay, and never got to go. Now this is how the supposed flight 2018 pole to pole was supposed to happen, and I wrote here Pan Scam Flight 000 2018 because it is a scam. So just like Pan Am 50, Pan Scam Flight 000 2018. So they were supposed to leave from New York, go all the way to Argentina, San Gallegos, Argentina. From here, they were going to fly to Perth, Australia, then to Beijing, China, then back to New York. So the orange line represents the first leg of the flight from New York to San Gallegos in Argentina. The blue line represents the second leg from San Gallegos all the way to Perth, Australia. The pink line represents Perth to Beijing. And the last one, the green, represents Beijing back to New York. So as you see here, this flight could never happen because you can't fly over the South Pole because the Earth is flat. So this is what they were going to do if, of course, they